We're back. Cam Luke, Liam Santa Maria, hashtag NBL free agency, market watch, NBL overtime, NBL 23, whatever you want to hashtag. Who cares? I'll be honest. I'm just too excited right now because the big names are starting to come. That's why we're back, Liam. We're like, you know what? We're going to put the feet up. We're going to just relax until Southeast Melbourne, Phoenix, and New Zealand open the season. We may pop up to Darwin, but we've got to come back together because it is all happening. Xavier Rathan-Mayes is in the league still. Melbourne United only recently in the last hour or so announced that they have signed Xavier Rathan-Mayes. Now, that'll be good news for Melbourne United fans because if you recall the last time the Hawks and United went at it, Rathan-Mayes went nuts late, found wherever he wanted to go and put the nail in United that night. He'll be in the colours next year. And I'm assuming off the bench, Shaylee starts, no Dellavedova, of course. Will he come off the bench in your eyes?
Maybe. I don't know. You know, Dean Vickerman likes to sort of make those bit of a position battle in preseason and then see how it plays out. But you're right. I remember that game. He was a mid-range bandit that night, Rathan-Mayes. I saw him at Summer League on the concourse, hanging with Dwight Reed, Antonius Cleveland. I said, what's going on? He said, look, I got some irons and some fires and, you know, hopefully I'm back in the league. So here we go. I said on radio yesterday, I feel like they needed to go for not necessarily a super duper star in that Delhi replacement at point guard, because you're right, they do have Shaylee and he needs to play minutes. So a guy that can share that spot, but can also slide over to the two. You can mix it up a little bit here. They've got versatility with this roster with the guys that they already had, the guys that they're bringing in, and Rathan-Mayes is a guy who can get some things done.
Now, our man Homicide, it's his birthday today, so big shout out to our man who's ripping it up in NYC. But he did go over the weekend. Of course, JLA, Jack White, Matthew Dellavedova. He's gone with the worst offseason in NBL history. I'll be honest, I haven't even watched the video. I've had enough people tell me what's in it. And Melbourne United has said, hold your horses. XRM, Rayjon Tucker as well. Rayjon Tucker. Look, mate, this guy, I can barely talk. You know that Leon Trimmingham is my favorite NBL player.
Whoa, Leon Trimmingham.
This is what the highlights of this guy reminds me of. He bang, bang. He's just above the rim the whole time. Melbourne United have had a really good 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, he's just an unbelievable athlete. I mean, he's going to be an excitement machine, but he's also he's a guy that can get buckets. I mean, he's a 20-point-a-game sort of scorer over the journey in the G League. And I've no doubt he's going to be able to transfer that ability to the NBL. Not necessarily a knockdown shooter, but good luck trying to stay in front of him and good luck keeping him from jumping over the top. So he's going to be a highlight reel. And it's an interesting thing that you bring up because, yeah, they were under pressure losing Daly and Jack White and Joe Luala-Chul. There's no doubt about it. But for me, that is all a big win. Huge, for Melbourne United. That's the type of club that you want to be. You want to be a club that helps players achieve their dreams, get to the NBL, get lucrative contracts and make a whole bunch of bank. And so then they can sell that down the line to other players. Jay Sean Tate for Sydney, they sold that back to Jalen Adams. Now he's making all kinds of money. So I think that's a big win. And then, of course, when you've got import spots, when you got a whole bunch of money back to spend on these players, you can bring some guys in. And Rayjon Tucker, he's going to be a high-level player in this league this season.
Hey, Brady Mannix, likewise, coming off a huge career at the University of North Carolina. They went all the way to the national championship game. I heard him on radio this morning in the West. He speaks great. People are going to love him. The Red Army already do love him, and I'm looking forward to seeing him do his thing. The Wildcats have had a pretty good week or so as well, and this just is a little cream on top because this kid can hoop.
Well, he's going to need to be really good for him. No doubt about it. I mean, I've been saying last week or 2 weeks ago, these two spots, the 4 and the 5, these last couple of signings, these import bigs are going to say a lot for how the Wildcats go this season because we know those other pieces. Mitch Norton, Bryce Cotton, of course, one of the greats of all time, Todd Blanchfield, Luke Travers. We know what they've got around the rest of the roster. What did they come through with there? Now, Tashawn Thomas is going to be good. Brady Mannix, Colt, figure at UNC, massive in the tournament earlier this year. And you're right, they're going to love him. They're going to love how hard he plays. They're going to love how well he shoots the ball. The big question for me is, are they going to love the way he sits down and defends? Teams are going to go at him. Fresh out of college, first year as a pro. Teams kind of went at John Mooney in that same kind of way. And for the most part, he held up pretty well. Same thing's going to happen here with Brady Mannix. So plenty to get excited about. A little undersized. They don't have like the big, strong, huge unit like an Aaron Baines in Brisbane, and that, very few teams do. But they're going at it with versatility. They're going at it with the ability to pass and shoot and play facing the basket. It's going to be fun to watch.
Just on Baines, just quickly, we did so much on him last week. NBL.com.au or via the NBL app, all the socials. Your article in how the little insight of getting Aaron Baines to Brisbane and the meeting with Sammy Mack and having him wait in the car until they clear that was a great article. So everyone who hasn't read it yet, it gives a real good insight of how Aaron Baines officially become a Brisbane Bullet. Now, I want you to explain something to me because I'm not very smart. You know this. We've known each other for, a long time. Isaac White is exactly what kind of Illawarra need, right? And now he's off to Tasmania as an injury replacement player. Were you surprised by this?
A little, yeah, just because they need a backup shooting guard there in Illawarra. And I thought he was good for them when they really needed somebody to be good for them last season. Gave them a real spark midway through that year. I'm writing something at the moment, just flagging kind of top free agents remaining. And I was writing on Isaac White. And I was thinking about Tasmania and thinking, you know what? The fact that he can really shoot the ball, just look in the NBL 1 North right now with Ipswich and the kind of numbers he's putting up, Scott Roth might look at him as an injury replacement for Clint Steindl, and that's what they've done. So a guy that they can bring off the bench, knockdown shooter, they can run him off picks like they did Clint Steindl. Not the same guy physically, but heck, he does a lot of the same types of things. So I like that as a pickup of a guy. You look around, who do we know can knock down shots at the NBL level? Isaac White is that guy.
Hashtag NBL free agency market watch. Hashtag NBL 23. Throw a little hashtag NBL overtime in there as well. Mate, what else are you hearing? There's a little bit around and it's starting to gear up. Give me something.
Well, who haven't we heard of a little bit from in the last little while? I think one of those teams is the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. We've been looking at their roster and saying, all right, well, they need a starting center to replace Joe Chi. They need a backup power forward. And just judging from my text messages with my man Tommy Greer over recent time, there's a bit of kind of extra energy about my man. So I have a feeling we might be hearing from the Phoenix over the next couple of days.
Hang on, in what type of position here are we talking?
Maybe one or both or either of those spots. I'm excited for what they put in place at that center spot because they've got Brown, Kell, Brokoff, Creek. Not a lot of money to spend necessarily left over at that point. So what can you get done? Can you get a high-level guy to play center? So watch this space, I think, for the Phoenix.
Hashtag NBL free agency market watch. Get involved at NBL via all the socials. Don't miss a moment of it. Liam, we will chat a little bit later in the week.
Gotcha.